Hi guys, it's Let's Read It Gabby here with Conversational Spanish lesson number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some few announcements that I will be probably doing now, with each lesson. This Thursday, I would like to go ahead and formally tell you guys there will be no hangout where we practice Spanish, as I will actually be traveling that day, so I can't really have a hangout at the airport. It would be kind of weird. People would look at me pretty crazy. Unless I catch one of you Redditors there, and then we can have a live hangout. But that would be weird. Um, Anyhow, I digress. So, in turn, I will be releasing lesson 3 on that day, as well as a how to roll your R's lesson. And also a basic lesson where we do like the alphabet sounds and numbers. So that way you can get a hang of that. Um, I digress. Alright, today's lesson number 2, will be including some phrases that are review from last week, just so you guys can have the hangout. I have actually the PDF on this side of the screen, so if you see me looking like I'm crazy, I have a PDF actually up there. I will be actually uploading this PDF not with the YouTube video, as I have to make a couple adjustments to it. So I'll either finish it up tonight. I have an art project. Who has art homework? Seriously. And it's not even like I'm not majoring in art, so it's kind of funny. Um, I have a project to do for that class that I have to finish up before tomorrow at 7 in the morning. And, anywho, I continue. Today's lesson will be some review, some new stuff, a lot of new stuff, so that you guys can have that for you. And the PDF will be either tonight or tomorrow afternoon. You'll see it on the page. Thank you guys. All right, to begin with the lesson, we're going to start off with a review word that we learned last week. The word accident, if you guys remember, is el accidente. Continuing. The next phrase that we're going to be learning is across the street. So, basically, we're talking to cross the street, or basically what is on the other side of the street with this phrase. So, this phrase is cruzando la calle. That phrase, cruzando la calle, can be used in place of both of the phrases that I've told you, across the street and to cross the street. So, you can be using it interchangeably, which is the beauty of Spanish. It can be used it's very like to the point. You don't have to have like in English where you have so many different phrases to get to the same goal. In Spanish, it's boom. The next phrase is something that doesn't have to do with emergencies or, trouble or danger, which is actually pretty good. But I mean, if you're hungry, that could be an emergency. So the next phrase, or the next word we're going to be learning, is bakery. Bakery in Spanish is la panadería. Yeah, mouthful. It's la panadería. Your accent is going to be over the second to last syllable, the RI. So you're not going to be like panadería. No. So we're also going to be covering accents in the how to roll your R's lesson, which I forgot to tell you guys at the top of the lesson. Continuing. The next word is bread. I'm also going to be including the phrase sweetbread, which I totally saw that I didn't add. But it's completely important, especially if you go to places that have and sell sweetbread, so you can differentiate yourself from getting a roll or getting some delicious sweetbread. Anywho, the word for bread is el pan. El pan. Super easy to say. But if you want to make it about sweetbread, you're gonna want to say el pan dulce. So the phrase dulce is sweet, and the word pan is bread. So you put them together, you have sweet bread, which is cool. To continue. The next phrase is to buy. It is the Spanish verb of comprar. So, I'm actually thinking about teaching you guys how to conjugate verbs, but that might be a harder lesson, so we might have a in-depth conversational Spanish after this conversational Spanish lesson, which is going to last us a while. So I might take a break, and this will start maybe later, depending on how much you guys want to learn. I guess just keep my inbox flooded or leave some comments. Tell me what you want to learn. But I digress. The next word is day. Day as an opposite of night. So day is el día. El día. Continuing. The next word is actually a review phrase for excuse me, as in interruption. So it would be discúlpeme, as you remember. The next phrase is actually a welcome, a salutation. The phrase is good morning, which is buenos días. Buenos is good, días is morning. So instead of saying you're like, well, why don't you say like mañanas, which is the actual word for morning? You actually say días. I'm not sure why. I can ask Señora Cantu, which is my Spanish teacher that I told you guys that I had access to. Or if you guys know the answer, you can comment on it and let everybody know. I digress. The next word should be a review word. I mean, it's pretty common. Everybody's heard it. The word is hello. It is hola. So, there we go. The next word is actually a review word. It's help. La ayuda. So you guys know that. The next thing is the greeting. So you would say like hola, and then you ask how are you? Hi, how are you? So you would say hola, ¿cómo está? And once again, this is the formal. If you want to make it formal, you would say ¿cómo está usted? Or you could just say ¿cómo está? Or if you want to make it the informal, it's ¿cómo estás? So you have an S that makes it informal, or you add the usted, or you just leave it como está to make it formal. But I continue. The next word is hungry. So I'm going to give you guys two words. Hambriento is one of the words. Excuse me. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I have allergies. And I'm tired. But hambriento is to suffer of hungerment. Or you could just say hambre, which is a form of saying hambriento. So it's hambre or hambriento. I continue. The next phrase is a review, I think. I am hurt. Estoy herido. The next phrase is to be used as in if someone offers you something and you want to say no thank you. You would say like I'm fine, thank you. In English, you'd be like I'm fine, thank you, no thank you. But in Spanish, you would say bien, gracias. Like I'm fine, thank you. Or you can say estoy bien, gracias. So it's kind of formal. Next phrase is a review. I need, necesito. I need help, necesito ayuda. Alright, these next two are build upon phrases, which is pretty cool. The first phrase is I would like, and it would translate to me gustaría. Me gustaría. The next one builds upon that is I would like to buy. So the verb you learned up a couple words ago, comprar, you can actually put it together to the end of gustaría, and you would get me gustaría comprar. I would like to buy. Me gustaría comprar. I would like to buy. So you can use that, and then you can even put it with the bread. So in this instance, you would drop the el off, because then you would say I would like to buy the bread, which sounds normal in English. But in Spanish, it sounds kind of weird. You could just actually take it out. I mean, it sounds fine. It works. It gets the message across, but you don't really need it. So you would say, me gustaría comprar pan. Unless you're talking about one, which I should have said that. I don't know why. I guess the sleepiness is taking my judgment out of hand. But you would say, me gustaría comprar el pan, as in one. The next thing is a formal way of addressing a woman who is married or an older woman. So the phrase in English is Mrs. Mrs. as in Mrs. Mac or Mrs. Jackson, would be Señora. And this is abbreviated SRA. As I told you, I have a teacher in high school who has taught me Spanish. She's the sweetest old lady, smart woman, amazing, powerful individual, and her last name is Cantu. So, her name would be Mrs. Cantu in English, and in Spanish it would be Señora Cantu. I continue. My, as in singular, as in my sandwich, mi sandwich. Me. I continue. The next phrase is a review phrase. My name is. Mi nombre es. Alright, I continue. I'm going to be adding some numbers in here. I have a PDF that I created a while ago when I first started the class, so I really don't know what's in there, but I digress. The next one is actually the number. That's why I stated with that. And it is the number 1. It's uno. Kind of like the game Uno. You know that card game with one card? Yeah, kind of nifty. I digress. Please is por favor. The next one is street, as in where you're at. Street, like walking down the street, driving down the street, is la calle. Thank you is gracias. What is your name? ¿Cuál es su nombre? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Being the informal. Where is a new phrase. So where is? ¿Dónde queda? Question mark. So earlier we learned panadería, which is bakery. So we could put it together at the end of this, and it would be ¿Dónde queda la panadería? Where does the bakery? Or where is the bakery? Sorry. Next ones are kind of review words. Yes is sí. Your is su. Alright, so continuing. Alright. So a lot again, this might be some review. I all typed it up. I was gonna actually make it so much more lessons, but then I was looking at all of my lessons and I was like, might be too long. But I continue. The next phrase is across the street or to cross the street, as you can remember, is cruzando la calle. Next phrase is to refer yourself, especially if you're American. It is americano. If you guys are from another nationality, please comment below, and I will definitely translate your nationality because I don't want this to feel purely American. And I want to include everybody. So, like, if you're from Poland, you'd be polaco. If you're from Italy, you'd be italiano. If you're Canadian, it's canadiense. If you're German, you would be alemán. If you're from England or the UK, you would actually be referred to as inglés. If you're from Sweden, I believe, or Switzerland, Sweden, it's sueso, I think. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because this ones I get confused. And if you're from Switzerland, you'd be suizo. Never mind. We should just forget that. I even tried. I know I have somebody that is from Switzerland. I'm not sure because I'm not. But go ahead and comment below. I'll double check with my professor, high school teacher, sorry, and my mother, who is more fluent than I am, as to how to translate your nationality to make you feel more included and not make this feel completely American, because I assumed incorrectly. But I digress. So the next phrase is going to actually build upon the last one, especially if you're lost or if you lose your passport, you lose documentation, or if something happens in the country you're at and you need to be somewhere safe, American soil. So I'm referring to the American consulate. This also refers to other people that are tourists. Say there's, something breaks out with Canada and Mexico, and for some reason, I don't know, and the Canadians have to go to the Canadian consulate. So this is and to refer that, or you just want to be safe and you lose your passport, which is probably the best thing I should have said instead of declaring war between Mexico and Canada over sweetbread. Um, so the phrase would be el consulado estadounidense. It wouldn't actually be el consulado americano. You could say that, but estadounidense is America, you know, USA. And since I said Canada isn't part of my example, it would be el consulado canadiense. You would refer to it as the nationality of the person, not the country. But I continue. As I said, some of these words are review. So the next word is bakery, la panadería, la panadería. I kind of add that little jump just so that you can associate that is the syllable emphasis. So that way when you're saying it, you don't kind of sound wonky when you're trying to speak Spanish and you put the emphasis somewhere else and people are like, because they do that. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody does that. Everybody's super sweet. Continue. El pan is bread. El pan dulce, the sweet bread. The verb to buy is comprar. So as we said, consulate is el consulado. So day opposite of night is el día. The next one is actually a really important phrase. Being that you don't take anything from this lesson, these is one of the most important phrases you can take with you for anything. I mean, I think this is probably the most important phrase you should learn, other than hello, goodbye, because that's polite. This is, do you speak English? Which I think is really important. Because I mean, hey, say your conversational Spanish is good, but there's some words that you don't know how to say, and you're just like, what? Anywho, so you have to immediately take control of the conversation and be like, all right, let's take it to my native language. Maybe or something, and that'll be better. So the phrase is, obviously, do you speak English? That translates to habla inglés, or you can say hablas inglés, or if you want to be formal, usted habla inglés. There you go. Simple as that. And then maybe your Spanish is kind of weird, you don't know where to pronounce your syllables, you're not putting everything in order correctly, or you don't even know what you're saying in Spanish, you're just spitting out words. You have to remember this phrase as well, which is, do you understand? In Spanish is entiende, entiendes. So either or works just as well. I continue. The word for emergency in Spanish is la emergencia. That is another word that you should look for. Emergencia, it could also be in an emergency room, or you would look at the word urgencia, which looks like urgency. In case of an emergency, you need to find the hospital, you need to look for that emergency room, God forbid. You have that instance where you know what words to recognize. Again, there's another problem with Spanish where you're just like, oh, okay, some words look like their English counterparts. That could be trouble. The word asistir looks like to assist. Like, I'm going to assist you. Actually, it means to attend. So you gotta be careful with those phrases where they kind of look like it. I mean, most of the time they are, but sometimes they're not. I continue. Next word is English. It's inglés. Once again, with this, if you speak something else, go ahead and comment below on the language you speak. I'll include it. Or you can comment on the University of Reddit page, or actually on the University of Reddit page on my post, and go ahead and let me know, and I'll go ahead and translate those for this week's mini lesson. I continue. The next phrase is a review phrase for good morning. Buenos días. How are you? ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo estás? Or you could even say ¿Qué tal?, which I didn't include last time, but that is a super formal way. Informal. Sorry, I correct myself. Super informal way. Something like where you're talking to your friends, or you have somebody where you've seen them you know, a lot on your vacation, you can actually feel like you can break that barrier down. You can be like, ¿Qué tal? You know, ¿Cómo estás? Kind of that fun way of including spice up, so you're not like, oh, I've learned this straight from a book. You know, add some variety to your Spanish. Um, Next thing is hungry, hambriento, hambre, tengo hambre, I'm hungry, that sort of phrase. The next one obviously has to do with the importance of finding your consonant, the importance of finding help or identifying yourself. The phrase, I am American, soy americano. Once again, like I said, comment below, and tell me what your nationality is, and I'll do it. Next phrase, super important again, is I have lost my passport. So, perdí mi pasaporte. It's I lost my passport. If you want to make it super formal to find out, to super informal to find out, to not to find out, to deliver as to who lost their passport, you could even include the word yo perdí mi pasaporte. I have lost my passport. Once again, I'm fine, thank you. Bien, gracias. I understand. Entiendo. I would like. Me gustaría. I would like to buy a. Me gustaría comprar. To lose. That's a big one. To lose. This is to lose, as in, like, same thing with English. I lost. Win or lose. And then I lost my article of clothing or my mind or whatever you want to say. You lost your ego, morals. I don't know why you should lose your morals. Shame on you if you did. To lose. So it would be perder. Perder is to lose. That you conjugate into perdí. So, or as different words. Mrs. is señora. No is no. So instead of saying no, you say no. I don't know why I sang that, but just so you can get into a hang of it. One is uno. Passport is el pasaporte. To speak is to hablar. Street is la calle. To take is tomar. So to take, as in to take in the sights, or to take in the air. Tomar aire fresco. Also tomar, the word tomar is to drink. So tomar bebida or tomar café. It's also that way you understand that phrase can be used differently. Like as in the next example is to take a taxi. It'd be tomar un taxi. Taxi. I don't know why I pronounced it in Spanish. Is el taxi. Thank you is gracias. All right. Next phrase is this is an emergency, as in sense of urgency. We gotta get this done. Es una emergencia. Es una emergencia. Una is actually the feminine word of one, which is uno. It also can be used as like is an, like it doesn't have to be as in this one emergency. No, you can use it in different instances. To understand is entender. To understand, entender. So, and the last phrase is a review, is where is. Donde queda. Alright guys, thank you guys so much. I'm going to say them all real fast, as I did last time, just straight in and out. That way you guys can have them in your mind. And then, like I said, tomorrow you'll get the PDF, or tonight. What is it? Wednesday you'll get a mini lesson, and Thursday you'll get another mini lesson, or a full lesson, depending on how much time I have. I have to pack. I'm so irresponsible. And then I will see you guys next Sunday from my later location. Alright, here we go. Accident. El accidente. Across the street. To cross the street. Cruzando la calle. Bakery. La panadería. Bread. El pan. To buy. Comprar. Day. El día. Excuse me, as in interrupting. Discúlpeme. Good morning. Buenos días. Hello. Hola. Help. La ayuda. How are you? ¿Cómo está? Hungry. Hambriento. hambre. I am hurt. Estoy herido. I am fine. Thank you. Bien. Gracias. Estoy bien. Gracias. I need. Necesito. I need help. Necesito ayuda. I would like. Me gustaría. I would like to buy a. Me gustaría comprar. Mrs. Señora. My as in singular. Me. Me is my. My name is. Mi nombre es. One. Uno. Please. Por favor. Street. La calle. Thank you. Gracias. What is your name? ¿Cuál es su nombre? Where is? ¿Dónde queda? Yes. Sí. Your. Singular form and formal version of su in reference to something belonging to you. Across the street or to cross the street. Cruzando la calle. American, americano. American consulate, el consulado estadounidense. Bakery, la panadería. Bread, el pan. Sweetbread, pan dulce. To buy, comprar. Consulate, el consulado. Day, el día. Do you speak English? ¿Habla inglés? ¿Hablas inglés? Usted habla inglés. Is the formal version. Do you understand? ¿Entiende? ¿Entiendes? ¿Tú entiendes? Formal version. Emergency. La emergencia. English. Inglés. Good morning. Buenos días. How are you? ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Usted cómo está? Hungry. Hambriento. Hambre. I am American. Soy americano. Yo soy americano. Specifically forming to you. I have lost my passport. Perdido mi pasaporte. Yo he perdido mi pasaporte. I am fine, thank you. Bien, gracias. Estoy bien, gracias. I understand. Entiendo. I would like. Me gustaría. I would like to buy a. Me gustaría comprar. To lose. Perder. Mrs. Señora. No. No. Remember that one. One. Uno. Passport. El pasaporte. To speak. Hablar. La street. La calle. To take. Tomar. To take a taxi. Tomar un taxi. Taxi. I did it again. Taxi. El taxi. Thank you. Gracias. This is an emergency. Es una emergencia. To understand. Entender. Where is? ¿Dónde queda? Alright guys, as you guys know, that was the repetition. If you are really tech savvy, you can cut that up, put it on an MP3 player, and listen to it over and over until you get the hang of it. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Until next week, or later this week rather, muchos abrazos. Chao. Que tenga buen día.